it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. And I just thought I'd have a little talk to you about part of the things that make me the type of homesteader that I am. I like to have things that I can use for more than one designed purpose. So I have found when I didn't have money or the right tools, I have found other things that worked. And so I just thought I'd tell you some of those. Years ago, I had a box spring that was very squeaky. And it was just kind of driving me a little crazy. But I didn't have the little oil can that my dad did at his house to oil things. But what I did have was some Mazola spray oil, like we use Pam now. And there was a hole under there because it was an old set. And I sprayed those, and guess what? Worked perfectly. That was the end of the squeaks of my box spring. I also didn't have tools for the longest time. And something that worked really well for a flat head screw to take it out was a butter knife. I used that for years. In fact, sometimes if I'm just being too lazy to go get a regular screwdriver, I will use a butter knife still. Another time when we had a very big storm with lots of snow, lots of heavy wet snow, I wasn't aware, but the pussy willow tree behind my house, which was very tall, a big section of it broke. I didn't have an axe, I didn't have a chainsaw, but I had a very good butcher knife. And I was able to cut, it took a long time, but to cut that broken section of the tree off using my butcher knife. Something that I want to make one day because I think it's so clever. I saw it on the homesteading Facebook page that I'm on. I don't remember which one, I'm sorry. They used a spaghetti scooper, that's kind of like this, to grab it. And they duct taped that onto a broom handle. It said you could also onto a good sturdy branch if you had one. And they used that in their chicken coop, or it could be even used outside of the chicken coop when the hens have not laid their eggs in the nest, but in a place that's hard to reach. Like sometimes mine will lay them under the roost area, and I don't really always want to have to lift up those roosts to get to them, so that will be a great tool. But my husband reminded me of something that we did many years ago. It was Christmas time, and we went to a Christmas tree farm and bought a Christmas tree, but it was the funniest shape. It was kind of pear-shaped. I didn't want a pear-shaped Christmas tree, and I used to like to buy my husband tools because he liked tools, and then he was more likely to want to use those. So I decided we had to trim that tree where it was shaped more like a regular Christmas tree. So we brought it in the house, and because we lived in a neighborhood where we were right across the street from another family that we really liked, we set up that Christmas tree right in front of the big plate glass window in the living room, and my husband got out the hedge trimmer that I'd bought him to work on the lilacs, and he buzzed through that and shaped that tree perfectly. Now, yeah, it was a little messy, but I gotta tell you, our house smelled great. It was really, really fun. And both of us love that memory. And I'd have to ask my neighbor if she remembered that. But the last one I'm going to tell you about was a leaf blower. Now, we did use the leaf blower outside to blow off our sidewalks when we lived in a little cul-de-sac and our driveway, and that worked really well. But I found another use for it. I always used to do spring cleaning, had a lot more energy than I do now. And so I would close up all the cupboard doors, and I would get out that goodness, just forgot the name. Leaf blower. And I would start up high. I would after I'd cleared like the top of the refrigerator, and I would begin blowing everything out. All the doors and windows were opened, and I would blow behind the refrigerator, and I blew out the baseboard heaters. Boy, do they have a lot of dust. And the dust would just be crazy. Then I'd be blowing on the carpet, and that got a lot more out than the vacuum cleaner. That worked really, really good. Yes, I did have to go through and dust, but it was hilarious watching all that dust blow out of the house. And it was easy. It was really easy. Then I would take it out to the garage, where I had an entire wall was all shelves for the canned goods, both that I canned and that I bought. And I would take that out there and I would blow everything off there, and I had a carpet in my garage, that way people's feet would be cleaner, and I would blow that carpet out, and the garage door of course would be wide open, and it would just be sending out billows of dust. It was really, really dirty. And I did that every year for many years. It was fun to do. The place got so much cleaner. It was amazing. And it's a nice memory of figuring out ways to use other than the normal tools for things. So I just want to encourage you to be thinking about other ways that you can use things around your house. Maybe you start off, if you're young and just starting off, maybe you don't have measuring cups. So maybe you find a cup that looks like about 1 cup measurer. I used to use a regular teaspoon when I was measuring for cooking. All those things, guess what? I survived, and it worked out just fine. I would like you to leave in the comment section something that you've used other than for its intended use that you found very handy. Well, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house and out of your house, in the day and the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming and be flexible. All right. Good night. I'll be talking to you soon.